Answer me this. If you only had one Activision Blizzard game come to Game Pass in April, what would it be? I hope you get it. Because quite frankly, I am not seeing what the point of it was for us as the consumers. The point of Microsoft getting Activision Blizzard King. Yes, this will just be a footnote 5 years down the road. It won't matter. And especially doesn't matter maybe to them, but to us, I have no idea. It's been so long since this has closed, and us, the consumers, have not seen the benefit of it, other than recently, Diablo 4 finally coming to Game Pass. That is something that I asked for. I am happy about that. But what about Spyro? What about Crash Bandicoot? What about Warcraft? What about Sekiro? Shadows Die Twice? What about any of those Call of Duty games that were nonstop talked about? There's just no news in sight when Game Pass people are going to get these games. And it's just, I think it's important to talk about why is this taking so long, and to kind of give us a chance to just let out some what's going on energy out of us. So why is this taking so long compared to even Bethesda, where they announced it in September, closed it in March in less than 6 months? The Activision Blizzard King one for Xbox took just under 2 years. And when the Bethesda one closed, we saw 20 of their games come to Game Pass within days of closing. The Activision Blizzard one, it has now been over 5 months, maybe actually even 6, and all we have is Diablo 4. My assumption, I think that is very fair, is all of the court hearings, all of the deals with contracts and the governments, FTC, CMA, all that jazz became so much legal bindings and shenanigans that the Bethesda deal just wasn't covered in. There's so much red tape, whatever that expression is, on the Activision Blizzard King stuff for Xbox compared to Bethesda that it's just making it take so much longer that they couldn't get things settled beforehand. There's even a firm deal that we know about with the European Commission that were like, hey, we will pass this deal only if you distribute basically all of these games to your rival cloud competitors, like all of them in the EU. And that is a very monumental task that pretty much prevents them from adding them to cloud maybe until then. Again, there's just so much red tape. Like there's 10-year contracts for Call of Duty, for PlayStation and Nintendo, and tons of other shop holders. And I think that's just the difference between this and the Bethesda one. It all really helped us consumers out, didn't it? Yeah, when's this going to happen? It'd probably be the monumental announcement to do it at the summer showcase, but that's so long from now. And that's so long without any momentum that Xbox has kind of been having this year, not in the same way as last year with their pretty consistent game releases first party, but this year, that's a big gap. But what I mean in terms of momentum is like January, there was the developer direct, great look at what they're doing first party wise, and Visions of Mana for some reason. Then February, we had the business update and Xbox podcast where they explained why they're bringing games to other platforms, which wasn't a big beat, but it's like that was a thing that made people talk about Xbox a lot. And then March, we had a partner preview where you got to see partner games coming, and even a lot of those games were coming to Game Pass that they announced there too. So what is going to be that big thing in April? Maybe the Activision Blizzard games? Hopefully Diablo 4 was kind of the kickoff to that they can actually be like, okay, now we can start rolling them in, and that's going to be our big beat in April, that we are finally bringing the Activision Blizzard games to Xbox Game Pass. And then May will finally kick off their big first-party releases this year with Hellblade 2. Hell freaking yeah, I'm so excited for that. And that's just going to kick off their first-party games. And then June, they can have their summer showcase. That is really going to have this all integrated by then. That is the ideal scenario, but there is still no word. You don't got Spyro, Crash, Sekiro, Call of Duty, Tony Hawk, Prototype, World of Warcraft. You don't got any of those to play if you're a Game Pass person, unless, you bought them, to which power to you. You're just stuck waiting for those games. There is stuff to play, though, until then with Xbox Game Pass. None of them are Activision Blizzard, so Hopefully that'll entertain you and me in the meantime, but it's just a scenario that I think, thank God there's kind of other stuff, but what is taking so long? So love to know what you think in the comments, and keep flexing your thoughts. Keep speculating.